of the hour, this is coming across as a big victory for India, Indian diplomacy and the Indian investigative agencies against the 26/11 terror attack plotter Tahawwur Rana. The process of his extradition to India is expected to begin shortly. As per sources, he is expected to reach India by a special flight tomorrow morning. Now, a multi-agency team from India led by a DIG rank officer is in the United States to oversee the extradition process. The US Supreme Court, remember, had rejected Rana's last plea against his extradition to India, and this cleared the way for the extradition process to be expedited. Now, meanwhile, when it comes to in India, arrangements are being made at Delhi's Tihar Jail, where he will be kept, and this is a massive development that comes after continuous efforts for over a decade to bring Rana to India for plotting the cowardly 2008 Mumbai terror attack that claimed the lives of over 160 people. We've been speaking to the survivors as well. They say now they are one step closer to justice.
Devika, we are one more step closer. तहावुर राना, जिसे एक की कॉन्स्पिरेटर के तौर पर देखा गया है, जिसने डेविड हेडली के साथ पूरी प्लानिंग का वो हिस्सा रहा है, उसको एक्स्ट्राडिट करके इंडिया लिया जाएगा। किस तरीके से आप इसे देखती हैं?
इस बात को सुनकर मुझे काफ़ी खुशी हुई है। मैं पहले तो अपनी इंडियन गवर्नमेंट को और यूएस गवर्नमेंट को मैं धन्यवाद कहना चाहूँगी कि इस बात से हमारी इंडिया की बहुत बड़ी जीत है। तो मैं एक ही बात कहूँगी, तहव्वुर राना को जल्द से जल्द भारत लाया जाए, तभी जाके मुझे पूरी खुशी मिलेगी और उससे जल्द से जल्द एक इन्फॉर्मेशन मिले कि वो आतंकवाद के खिलाफ वो सारी प्रूफ दें।
देविका, साथ में हमने देखा कि आप और मैं, कई लोग इस वक्त का इंतज़ार कर रहे थे जहाँ पर तहव्वुर राना ने पुरजोर कोशिश लगा दी, यूएस के हर कोर्ट में जाकर याचिका दाखिल की, लेकिन अब यूएस के सुप्रीम कोर्ट से खारिज कर दिया गया है उसका लास्ट एप्लीकेशन, यानी और क्लोजर हो गया है वो भारत आने के।
यूएस से खारिज कर दिया गया है, इसलिए तो सबसे बड़ी खुशी की बात हो गई है कि उसे जल्द से जल्द भारत लाया जाएगा। तो इस बात से बड़ी जीत हमारी कोई नहीं है कि हमें और आतंकवाद के खिलाफ सबूत मिलेगी। और पाकिस्तान में आज भी कहीं ना जाने कितने आतंकवाद बैठे हैं और उसके मन में क्या चल रहा है, क्या प्लानिंग चल रही है, वो हमें किसी को नहीं पता। शायद इसके आने से इंफॉर्मेशन और मिलेगी। 26/11 के टाइम पे इन्होंने क्या प्लानिंग किया था, कैसे किया था, ये सारी इंफॉर्मेशन मिलेगी। मैं चाहती हूँ कि तहव्वुर राना को लाने के बाद उस पर जल्द से जल्द कार्रवाई करके उसे फांसी की सजा दिया जाए।
Victims and survivors, they are both waiting justice for over a decade now, as Tahawwur Rana's extradition can be seen as a fitting reply to the opposition then, as far as when it comes to it was in the ruling government, the Congress which had accused the RSS of plotting the 26/11 terror attack. In 2010, a book titled 26/11 RSS Ki Sajish, that was authored by Aziz Barni, who was releasing this book, had blamed the RSS for the terror attack. This book that was released by senior Congress leader Digvijay Singh, which had triggered a massive furor. Let's break you another point that is now coming in on this angle as far as Tahawwur Rana's extradition is now concerned. He will be reaching India and will be reaching the capital, New Delhi, tomorrow morning, as now being said that the NIA agency will be taking him to their headquarters. His medical examination, due process of law that is now being done, will be followed at the NIA headquarters. And what is now being said that security has been increased significantly, looking at the high profile when it comes to the plotter of 26/11 mastermind that is now being brought back to India. Srinjoy is connected with us, so is Pradeep and Arunil. Pradeep, now as far as the information now been coming in, what happens now? Extradition process, we know, has already started. Legal paperwork that is underway. He will be flown to India. What happens once he lands in New Delhi?
Yes, Samita, it's a matter of few hours only. Tomorrow morning, he'll be reaching here in India, and from there, straight amid tight security, he will be taken to the NIA headquarters. And NIA headquarters security has already been briefed up. Remand papers have already been prepared, and those papers will be submitted in the court, and it will be through video conferencing. That hearing will take place because of security concern. He will not be taken to the court, and through video conferencing, everything will be done. And before, while he will be taken to the NIA headquarters, you rightly said, the first thing that will be done will be this medical examination, and that will be properly conducted. And they will ask for the maximum custody. That is what NIA will try to do, because they will further try to investigate. And one of the survivors was rightly saying that this will help India further get to know about the Pakistan's terror plans and project also. Who else had been involved besides some of the officers' name that has already been in the dossier. associate that they were responsible for this attack, along with the Lashkar-e-Taiba Pakistani terror outfit that is being led by Hafiz. And then after that, he'll be going to Tihar Jail. Already the arrangements have been made in Tihar Jail also, and arrangements have also been made in one of the Mumbai jails, where also he can be taken. So it will only time tell whether he will be kept more in Tihar Jail or he will be shifted to Mumbai Jail. But one thing is quite clear: initially he'll be taken to NI headquarters, where medical examination will be done. Then after that, the hearing will take place through video conferencing because of the security reason. Already the security has been picked up because no time will be wasted, because India will start investigating and looking into the back.
Oh, absolutely. It's been a long wait, long wait that we are talking about, but eventually he's now been brought back. RSN Singh, Mr. RSN Singh is connected with us, and so is Major General Dhruv Katoch, also connected with us. Good morning to you, gentlemen. Mr. RSN Singh, of course, it's been a fight that has gone on for decades now, and amid heightened security, he has now been brought back. The arrangements that are underway, Delhi's Tihar Jail eagerly waiting to welcome him here in the jail premises. However, when it comes to the set guidelines that came in from the US judiciary from handing over extradited individuals, that is being followed, and now the day eventually has come that Tahawwur Rana is being brought back.
See, the Indian establishment needs to be applauded for this achievement, and particularly the National Security Advisor, Mr. Ajit Doval, and also the Ministry of Home and our intelligence agencies. This is something we thought would never happen, but geopolitics changed after arrival of Trump, and well, that has also contributed to this, this gain, for India. And, how important he is. You see, the entire attack, 26/11, it had two components. One is at the target end and one is the preparation. The entire target end, that is Mumbai, preparations, to the last detail, minute detail, was done by this gentleman. Headley was just working on his instructions. From November 11 to 16, he was the person who was tying up all the details. And believe me, once they start interrogating him, so many, things will tumble out against politicians, people in the Bollywood, people, in the lawyer fraternity and the police community. There were people in Mumbai police as well who were involved in this. So this entire thing would tumble out. And I, for one, we should be very, very worried about his safety and security not in that sense, which, but inside the Tihar Jail. This is something they may go to, he may just meet the fate of that, Ram Singh if precautions are not taken. So we have to be very, very careful on that account. And this is an acid test. This is the inflection point as far as proxy war is concerned. Because proxy war, we know the dimension. We also know the proxies in India. They only have to be named and shamed, and that is what Tahawwur Rana will do. And that is why a lot of people in India, let me tell you, lot of people in India today, ever since this extradition thing has come up, they would be, having sleepless nights. So it's a very, very important development, I never thought this would happen. But then,
well, eventually India has made it happen. Major General Katoch, sir, what do you have to say on Tahawwur Rana's extradition? Because time and again, he's been making several excuses when it comes to the US courts there, saying that he's a Muslim of Pakistani origin, a Canadian citizen who served as a doctor in the Pakistani army. He has certain medical ailments as well. He believed that he will be tortured if he is extradited. All of that did not sway the judges in the US courts at any cost.
Thank you, Amita. I think Major RSN Singh, who's my very old friend, has summed it up beautifully. And I concur with what he has said. I'd just like to make 2 points here. One, in your initial remarks, you had made a statement that a book was released trying to pin the blame on the RSS. I think that is a very important angle, because there was a conspiracy, and there was a conspiracy to frame the RSS in this dastardly murder, in the dastardly murderous attack. And I think what has really happened is that those conspirators, one, of course, was from the Pakistani side. that we don't have to worry about. Most of them have been eliminated. And we know what the Pakistanis are doing. What is not so well known is who were those people, especially in the political department, who were in cahoots with this murderous attack on Mumbai and on the people of India. I think this is something which we need to really get to the bottom of. And if Tahawwur Rana can help us get there, it will be a great achievement.
Of course,
so the likes of
keeping as far as when it comes to the road to justice, of course, I'm just coming back to you on that because we have another angle that we need to break for our viewers and get across, especially when it comes to the legal roadblocks that have now been removed. Tahawwur Rana's extradition is almost complete now in one of the deadliest terror strikes in the country. But when it comes to the critical question that still remains, who in Pakistan received Rana's classified information as well? Dossiers after dossiers that have been sent across. But what exactly is being done on ground? What, according to sources, what we are also learning, that NIA has prepared his custodial remand paper, which will be submitted to the court. The hearing that is likely to take place via video link due to security reasons, and NIA will be seeking his maximum custody. Once the custody gets over, he will be shifted to Tihar Jail. So amid high security concerns, Pradeep, you've been hearing to both of our guests there, because it is also very important. Once he enters India, especially when it comes to the courts, the law, the procedures duly would be noted. But we are looking at a high-profile individual. Of course, when it comes to a plotter of the 2611 mastermind, as he is also being called, security concerns will always be there.
Yes, you're absolutely right. The security concerns will always be there. That is one of the reasons that he has been brought in a chartered plane from the United States of America to India. Tomorrow morning, he'll be reaching. And amid tight security, he'll be straightway taken to NIA headquarters, where the medical examination will be done. Already the papers have been prepared. Those papers will be submitted to the court, and it will be through video conferencing that the hearing will take place, because India doesn't want to take any chance, and that's one of the reasons that security is something that is an utmost concern for them. And they're looking into it because he's a high-profile person so far as the terrorism is concerned. Because this man had been to India just before 2611 attack. He had stayed there for a week, and he was monitoring the operation from there, as rightly said by Colonel Harrison Singh. David Coleman Hadley had only done the reconnaissance, but he was the one who had been to India, had been properly involved in the planning along with inter-service intelligence, Singh. And so he came to India, and only after that the 2611 attack took place. He's not only someone who was involved in the 2611 attack, but he was planning the attack in the Denmark, and that's one of the reasons in 2009, along with the David Coleman Hadley, finally he was arrested. And the secret investigation had been going on. It's a big success for the diplomacy, big success for the Modi government, and also a big joke for Pakistan and proxies. You rightly said that those years, after those years, India had been killed. What really happened? Nothing. In fact, it was always, whenever he was arrested, it was not only arrested, he was provided security cover. It was an eyewash to tell the world that they are acting against Hafiz, but they never ever acted against Hafiz. Even Tahawwur Rana is considered to be one of the main plotter in 2611 case. He was the one who fathered the child inside the jail. So this is how actually they had made a joke of the justice. India had been asking them for justice, wanted that that people who are responsible for this act should be handed over to India. Pakistan did nothing, but so far as America is concerned, we've already seen with Trump coming over to power.
Well, it continues to provide safe haven to such dreaded terrorists. Arunil is also connected with us right now. Let me get in a word from Arunil as well, because Arunil, when it comes to this well-said propaganda, however, it is very well documented when it comes to a certain narrative that was being promoted of terrorism to implicate the RSS in the 2008 carnage, despite there being overwhelming evidence pointing to Pakistan-based terror group Lashkar-e-Toiba.
Well, the attacks happened in 2008. That time, the UPA regime was in power in Maharashtra. It was a Congress chief minister. Vilas Rao Deshmukh was the chief minister then, as well as the home minister was from the United NCP. RR Patil was the home minister then. Later on, as the investigation proceeded, there was an attempt by to politicize the entire dastardly attack that had taken place. Clear signs were there that there was a hand of Lashkar Toiba in this, but an attempt was being made by the ruling dispensation at that time to blame the RSS. Basically, say that RSS is behind these attacks that had taken place. Now, the way in which Tahawwur Rana will be brought to India, his questioning will be extremely paramount in this. He's been seen as the main mastermind in this case, the boss of David Coleman Headley. He is the one who was guiding everything. He orchestrated these.
So Pandora's box is expected to be open when he is brought back, and of course, when it comes to the justice, the system that prevails here in the country, and how he will be brought to book, because it took 14 long years to bring him back. But the then UPA government not only captured Kasab but also executed him. And this is, however, it seems that a certain ecosystem is rattled with Tahawwur Rana being extradited. However, another link that has now been brought about, taking up the question, saying that it took 14 years to bring back Tahawwur Rana. What happens with Lalit Modi and other fraudsters as well who are living abroad with government support? This is how the opposition today are reacting on Tahawwur Rana's extradition.
तहावुर राणा को लाने में 14 साल लग गए। यूपी सरकार में कसाब को पकड़ के एग्जीक्यूशन का काम कांग्रेस के ज़माने में ही हो गया था। आपको 14 साल लग गया। ललित मोदी को भी लाने में 14 साल लग गया। जितने इस देश के बड़े फ्रॉडिये सरकार के समर्थन में विदेशों की धरतियों पर रह रहे हैं, हम विदेश मंत्रालय से पूछना चाहते हैं कि विजय माल्या से लेकर ललित मोदी से लेकर क्या समझौता भारतीय जनता पार्टी की एनडीए सरकार ने कर रखा है। वो भी आएंगे कि नहीं आएंगे। देश में जो लाखों करोड़ के भ्रष्टाचार हुए उस पर कुछ बातचीत होगी कि नहीं होगी। तहावुर राणा को 14 साल बाद लाके आप क्या करेंगे? कोई मतलब है उसका बुलाने का? जबकि सारा जो एग्जीक्यूशन का काम, कसाब को सही जगह पहुंचाने का काम, और नरेंद्र मोदी के राज में तो इस देश में आतंकवादी हमले कितने बड़े, कितने लोगों को आप लाएंगे। पुलवामा हुआ, जम्मू में आतंकवाद के
Well, Shinja, are you hearing as far as when it comes to reactions coming in from the opposition parties? However, they aren't, reacting much to it, saying that justice is still long overdue. However, do you believe that this is a point of credit scoring that has now been done, saying that it was Kasab who was executed under their rule? Who will take responsibility now, because it has taken over a decade now to actually bring Tahawwur Rana to India, something that nobody believed would actually happen one day?
There are really three things that have to be kept in mind here, Amita, and just keep listening. Point one, just after the attack, the three chiefs were called in, and at that point, the Air Chief Marshal Fali Major, made it very clear that yes, he could arrange a strike into Pakistan, into the terrorist camps, hit the terrorist camps in Pakistan or POK. Now that decision was taken much, much later as far as Balakot is concerned. But at that time, after 26/11, it was decided that no strike should happen. That's the first thing. Secondly, let's not forget that Kasab was in jail for a long time. Of course, he was executed. He was in jail for a long time. And it was only after Pranab Mukherjee became president, after 2012, don't forget, 2008 was when he was caught. So it was only after 2012, when Pranab Mukherjee was president, was he executed. Was he hanged. It took a long time. That's the second thing. The third thing, the most sensible thing that is probably going to happen is the fact that if there is a trial, a public trial, like the Eichmann trials in the early 60s, again, it took a long time to catch him.
Yes.
But then the world saw him as a man in a glass booth.
And
if
this is an
something
example
similar,
that seems that the Indian agencies are now giving out. Tahawwur Rana eventually now being brought back, because it is now being said that it is most likely tomorrow morning on board a special flight amid heightened security he's going to be brought to New Delhi. Reactions, multiple reactions that have been coming in. Apologies for interrupting our guests and our reporters also there. Enjoy to you as well. Let's in the main part play out what Giriraj Singh has to say. Of course, he's also taking on the ecosystem who seems to be rattled.
सर, बहुत बड़ा दिन आज मोदी सरकार के लिए। तहव्वुर राना को फाइनली एक्स्ट्राडाइट किया जा रहा है, भारत लेके आया जाएगा। 26/11 के जो हमले हुए 2008 में मुंबई ब्लास्ट, उसका अक्यूज है तहव्वुर राना।
आज मास्टरमाइंड 26/11 के तहव्वुर राना को अमेरिका से लाया जाना एक अपने आप में बताता है कि नरेंद्र मोदी जी का दुनिया में कद कितना बड़ा है वर्ल्ड लीडर के रूप में, क्योंकि ये घटना यूपीए गवर्नमेंट में 2008 को घटी, तब से ये फरार था। लेकिन दुख की बात है, देश के ही कुछ विपक्ष के नेता विदेश में तो गाली देते, देश में भी मानने को तैयार नहीं होते। आज तो कम से कम धन्यवाद दें जो 2008 में घटना घटी, उसके मास्टरमाइंड को पकड़ करके भारत लाना आज उन लोगों के लिए जिनकी जाने गई, उनके परिवार के लोग और देश के लोग, जो हमारे ऊपर एक कलंक था, और इसके पकड़ाने के बाद कई राज भी खुले गए जो पाकिस्तान से जुड़े तार होंगे और देश से भी जुड़े तार होंगे। तो ये मैं समझता हूं देश के लिए आज एक बहुत बड़ी कामयाबी का दिन है।
बिल्कुल बहुत बड़ी कामयाबी। पर सर, वक्फ को लेकर जो हम बंगाल में देख रहे हैं,
well, the union minister saying that explosive revelations are possible once Tahawwur Rana lands in the country. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining us here on the broadcast. Exclusive details, back-to-back updates you can watch only on Times Now with regards to the process of extradition which is currently underway of Tahawwur Rana. We'll get you more back after a short break.